Hey guys, MBB Reviews here again with another video review. This time, we're taking a look at Generations Springer Triple Changer. So, we'll go through my little quick MBB Reviews little intro, and we'll take a look at a better detail at Generations Voyager class Springer. See you in a second. So here we have Generations Springer. Very well designed based on his IDW comic look. So, he looks very nice in this mode. Very accurate to, or closely accurate to, how he looks in the comic book. Very nicely detailed. And looks great. For his posability, just quickly going over, he has in and out, up and down, back and forth. He has rotation at the arm, above the elbow, one at the elbow, a wrist swivel, and a hinge down over here. Sorry, that was out of frame. Legs, back and forth, in and out, swivel at the hip, a thigh swivel, nice ratcheting, knee joint, back and forth here, and that's pretty much it in the foot. And that's pretty much all his articulation. He is great for posing and is one of the better looking Springers available out there. One of them being the G1, the other one being the Classics Springer. So, we'll take a look at some of his flaws. Some of the flaws with him is on this side, right here. It depends on your figure, but on mine it is very floppy. What else? Pretty much, that's pretty much my only nitpick with it, really. Right here, just on mine, if I have it properly pegged in, it comes out, but that's just because the arm's properly pegged into here, so that's okay. So basically, otherwise, everything else is perfect on this guy, to my liking. No paint splotching, perfect. He does have a mismatch in paint, so it's going to be more prominent in the other vehicle modes, but some of the paint here is the same color as that, and this one's more of this. This one's more of this, so bit iffy there. There's the product ID for their reference, and told accessories in the back. So, we'll take a quick look at those and we'll be right back. So here is Springer's gun. It is a push fire mechanism, so there is no springs. So they're all based on friction. And what's awesome is, if you can't see, they don't both fire at once. They fire separately. So 1, 2. So that was great. So here's the missiles quickly. Very nicely detailed. They're both identical. Here's the ball part. So these out of the way. And here is the main green gun. Very nicely detailed. It looks pretty great. Fits well into the hand. One of its features is that it does allow that to move around. And here's some more detail that you don't see underneath, and here's some more you don't see from above. So, got that out of the way. Time for the sword. So the sword doubles as a propeller, or propellers, or helicopter blades, really. So the transformation is nice and simple. It will be tight when the first time you get it out of the box. So what you're going to need to do is get your nails in, spread that apart. It pegs in here, and these two overlay each other into the grooves here. Bring them down as far as possible down here. Flip this down here and bring both of these back up to tab into the screen part. Now, you just notice that this is now free, because when you bring this down, this locks onto one of the little gear posts. So that locks it in, and that's what enables you to have the sword. So I'll get that back. We're going to need this later for transformation. And here's the propeller blades. So there's beautiful detailing, and they do look like propeller blades. So thank you, Hasbro, for accuracy to the comics. Woohoo! So guys, time for transformation. I did forget to mention, for comic book accuracy from the IDW lines, you can have the shoulder pads out as such. I just prefer not to, because I like the nice and sleek yellow on top, kind of breaking it up a bit more. I did notice one thing. You gotta peg these in a lot harder so they stay flush here. So transformation, what we're going to want to do is untab these, tab back in the arms as such, back into, from that peg into there. It is on that odd joint, so that's what allows you to bring it back up as such. Bring these down for now. What we're going to want to do is bring this up, let the head slide in, and the head does get stuck inside the, so you're just going to have to bring it forward and then bring it all the way in. So if you didn't see that, I got caught here, and you bring it into there. So what you're going to do is lift this up, bring that back, peg that in into such, and there we go. So here you have the upper chest done. So I'm going from robot to car. So for car, you bring that back, bring the arms forward into where they were resting before. This time they're going to go in all the way. Next thing you're going to want to do is straighten out the arms. But you also want to untab the back of the arm here to allow the folding in of the fist. Untabbing that wing from that little tab there, and bring it all the way flat straight. Then what you're going to want to do is bring this there and push it down. There we go. And so same thing, down, pull up, flip fist in, straighten it out, and there we go. Now I did notice a bit of distressing right here from that bar in there rotating around, stressing the plastic there. I hope it doesn't break. That's all I can really say. You're going to want to straighten out the legs, flip these out, and then peg the legs together down here. They have a special hinge there that allows them to come together closed as such. If it's really tight on yours, just be careful. Don't force it too hard, but it should work fine. Then for the wheels, you're going to bring them forward that far, but make sure your cockpit's flat down into the right proper position. Make sure you're pegging everything, and the wings have to go to the legs there, so have it as such. Bring these back and bring that down and peg it in. So it's gonna peg in here with that peg there, and that is gonna go behind it. There we go. Bring these back. Make sure those are flat down. And here you have the car mode. And this is where I'm telling you, make sure everything's proper. I know this will happen instead of that, but this has been problematic on mine the whole time I've had it. So there we go. So guns, or bullets with guns, and you stick it on top here, and there you have your Springer in car mode. Now there's no where to put this, but if you did put it back in sword mode, you would be able to move this back, move it out front, stick it right here, and make it look like it's got a giant whacker on the side. So the cool thing about this vehicle mode specifically, or this robot mode, if somebody really wanted to, they could make a Batman Batpod repaint. It's got the front for it, it's got the back wings for it, and it's got the transformation, so it could go from Batpod to Batcopter. Just saying. So, just for a quick look at the detailing, very nice silver detailing that was covering up the wheels up front this time. There was a few markings saying blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. Now you got pea shooters, or you got guns on the side, so he's armored up, but he's kind of shooting himself a bit. Well, that's okay. He's got very nice big wheels in the back. Very Batman-esque backing for it. And yeah. And same side. Same thing on the other side. Very nice free rolling wheels. Yeah, he likes going fast. So there has been a difference in this toy than previous Transformers Prime releases or the Generations releases. It is actually getting bigger back to the Deluxes and Voyagers. From Revenge the Fallen Transformers animated back to that kind of size. So this guy actually could go back into your collection properly, not feeling out of place, and could go perfectly with your other Optimus Prime. But I would love to see a 90W Prime for this guy. So, getting that out of the way, this and such. And if you have this in sword mode, transform it back into helicopter blade mode, and stick it right on top here. Time for transformation. So flip this up, undo the wheels. So you're gonna have to bring these forward as such and peg them in. And same here. So bring it back and forth. And what you're going to want to do with these is that they peg in right into those slots. So one big slot and another big slot. So they're going to be nice and strong in there. Bring those out. Then you're going to get to the doors. You're going to pop these out a bit. Bring them all the way down to where it allows you. Before you have it all the way down, bring the window panel up. Pull out this panel. Which it's being stubborn now. And then flip it back forward. Same for this side. This side's a lot easier for me. Flip down. What you're going to want to do with this is you got to make sure you have the most inner hinge in. Then bend it forward. The hinge and tab it into the tab into this peg hole. Or tab hole. Slot. So same thing here. And first slot. There we go. So we're almost done with the helicopter mode. All you're going to want to do is lift this up. Bring it forward. The front is, they're going to cockpit is going to tab into that slot right there and tab that in. Now these tabs here are supposed to peg in there. They don't do it that well on my figure. So yeah, you're kind of left with that. You're just going to want to make sure you level out the back so it's flush with it. Even though it doesn't want to go down all the way, still make sure it's flush so the blade can spin freely. Now you're going to have to go and grab this little puppy, bring it down, and such. And there you have Springer in helicopter mode. So, blades spin freely. He is on 3 wheels instead of 4 this time, so 1, 2, and 3. And he is, this is one of the only two of the 3 modes where all weapons can be stored at once from the instructions. So what you're going to want to do is fold this in all the way. Bring your gun. Bring that back. What you're going to do is there's tabs on there and you're going to clip it in to where the wheel goes in. And there we go. And this is Springer in attack mode. Now Springer in attack mode Not much has changed, but at least now you've got weapon storage out front, and now it is easily compact. So that's perfect. So from here to robot mode is actually easy. So tab that from the front. Bring these up. Untab these from up here. Bring that forth. Undo this, push out the wrist, and bring that in. And there you have the arm done. Do the exact same thing. And there you have the arm done. Bring these up. Now fold the feet down. And flip out the green heel spurs. Bring these up. Separate the legs. Make sure these are tabbed in properly. Bring these forward. Straighten out the legs. And hold these down. Now going back up here, what you're going to want to do is bring up your head, leave it about there. Then what you need to do is go in here and pull out that wheel. Bring your head in slowly. Untab the head or the top of the cockpit. Bring that down. Now that wheel has to stay out because it's going to go into here. So leave that wheel out, and there we have Springer almost done. Then what you're going to do is bring out the hinge and connect it there. Connect and hinge. Bring untab from here and here, and here you have Springer in robot mode. Now he's staring a bit to the sky, but there we go. So here you have Springer. So obviously he can wield his gun and wield his sword. There we go. Back into sword mode for like the 10th time in this video. Didn't actually count, so estimate. And into the arm it goes. And that's my fault. Okay, in. Here we go. Springer with a sword. Now this guy is great in pulse ability and great with the way he looks. Having his guns and weapons being transformable and compatible in most of his 3 modes is amazing. I cannot wait to get my hands on his mold twin, or remold twin, Sunstorm, and I cannot wait until we get an Astro Train for once. A brand new Astro Train mold would be amazing. Now, I forgot to mention, there is Blitzwing, but he is one of the most defective of the bunch. And early caution, if I do get him, I'm gonna try not to break his head. Apparently it breaks easily. So, quick word of caution, and I forgot to mention, weapons are combinable. my favorite way to do it is actually a bow and arrow style, so a crossbow style. So yeah, so that's a little fan mode out of the way. Got in here, and we are going to store the sword on the back here. So there we go. So if you see this guy in store, I highly recommend pick him up. The light piping on this guy is amazing. I don't know if you can see it, but I've held him up to the sunlight and he is amazing. So if you guys can pick him up, go ahead. I found mine at my local Walmart. He was the only there out behind a few sound waves. So I would look behind the other Voyagers just so you can find them. And so guys, this was MBB Reviews here again with another video review. And today we were taking a look at IDW Springer. So guys, I'm going to see you next time on MBB Reviews. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment. And please don't forget to subscribe and add to your favorites. So I'm going to see you guys next time and see you till then.